Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Jim Sterne on the line. He's principal consultant at 2Y3X. Jim, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much for having me, Adam. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, Jim, it's great to have you on, and great topic today. So a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives watch this show. They're looking for tips. They're looking for actionable items to grow their business and enterprises, and getting past the growth barrier for service companies. I mean, this is a big one. So excited to learn from you and bring this content to the audience. And just to get this episode started, we'll start this like we start them all with our Mission Matters Minute. So, Jim, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Jim, what mission matters to you?
Thanks, Adam. The mission that matters to me is helping other people get past their growth barrier. This is based on mentorship, based on experience, based on standing on the shoulders of giants, having learned lots and lots of business tricks, tips, and just lessons, and helping people get beyond what they have optimized for so far. It's about sharing best practices from, all the business greats that's then been put together in a program that actually helps people step by step break through and double and triple in size.
Man, that's awesome. What a great mission. And who doesn't want to double and triple in size? So I'm in. I'm excited to dive into this content. And just to get us started, maybe tell us a little bit more about how you got started on this really entrepreneurial journey to helping business owners.
So the long version, I sold business computers to companies that had never owned one before. I sold software development tools. I tripped over the internet in 1993 and got really excited about marketing online. I started doing public speaking.
You were excited in 1993 about marketing online? That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's when Mosaic came out. That was the first graphical user interface. And I went, whoa, wait a minute. Let's do this. And I interviewed a bunch of people to ask them their best practices for online marketing strategy. And they all said, well, I don't know. What did the other guy say? And well, that's what it means to be a consultant. Gotcha. And then I started writing books. So 12 books about online marketing. The last 20 years have been about online marketing analytics. And so I've been doing my own thing. I've started my own conference in 2002 about marketing analytics, the Marketing Analytics Summit. The audience created the Digital Analytics Association from there that's been running for 19 years. And about 5 years ago, working on a social sustainability project, I met a guy who was one of the first internet marketing companies in London. His name was Felix Velarde, and we just became fast friends. We'd been involved in the internet from the beginning. We knew the same people. We just made friends quickly. And about 3 years ago, he started telling me about this program that he had created. He, having started a half a dozen advertising agencies and sold them and done roll-ups, and in his words, made all the mistakes you can make, said, I know how to do this now, and I can help other people do it. And I said, man, you should write a book. And he did. And it's called Scale at Speed. And so I got so excited about how he was doing it and how the program was put together that I am now the United States representative for his London-based company, 2i3X, and the Scale at Speed program. I guess the short answer to how did I get started was I was out of a job and two companies at the same time said, we can't afford you, but we need your help. Would you be willing to be a consultant?
Yeah.
And I went, oh, yeah, I could do that. And I've worked for myself ever since.
Wow, what an amazing story. And I mean, going back from where you started, I mean, you've seen this whole, when you said online strategy, online marketing strategy, and you're talking about 93, 94, like I didn't know that was a term back then. But
no, it wasn't. I was an online marketing strategy consultant, and everybody said, what's the internet? And then fast forward to the year 2000, and If you were an online marketing strategy consultant, it meant you were out of work.
Yeah.
So I narrowed that down to, oh, I'm going to be a consultant about online marketing analytics.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a deep dive there, and now a fairly big fish in a really teeny tiny pond.
Yeah.
Online analytics people have heard of me or read my book or come to my conference or
Mm-hmm.
something. But taking, when you reach a certain age, Adam, you've got a few 30 years in front of you before you hit that age. You realize that you've learned a lot of lessons the hard way,
Mm-hmm.
and sharing them becomes incredibly rewarding.
Mm. Yeah. Oh man, so you're saying I got many, many more lessons to learn. I'm in, I understand. And nobody said it was going to be easy, Jim. So I'm
We
in for
all
this.
have lessons to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, you have a fast track because of all of these interviews you're doing. You're getting all the best tips and tricks from everybody. It's awesome. When are you going to write a book?
Oh man, we have plenty of books, but that another day. This is your interview, so I want to switch focus a bit here. So let's just kind of paint this picture a little bit more. So you're obviously an expert. You've seen the entire internet, and that wouldn't be an exaggeration. You've seen it evolve. You are operating the space. Now this book comes out, and so now you're so inspired that you're going to take it a step further, become the representative of the United States, and really push this thing to the next level, I'd say. What excited you so much about this? Like, because obviously there's so many opportunities, so many things you can do, but this is where you're like, no, this makes sense. 2Y, 3X. Like, what was that thing that you were like, this is it?
So a handful of things. One is Felix Velarde's experience.
Mm-hmm.
He had been there, done that. The program he put together is not just what he thinks is a good idea, but he did a deep dive for a couple of years in all the great business books that you've read, or you were supposed to read. I mean, Good to Great, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, Thinking Fast and Slow, Blue Ocean Strategy, Balanced Scorecard, What Got You Here, What Got You There. I mean, all of those great ones. Mm-hmm. And he didn't just here are the theories. He said, all right, if these theories are solid, how do you processize them? Mm-hmm. So, for example, Good to Great. It's the big, hairy, audacious goal, the BHAG. Yeah. So he said, okay, well, what does that mean? And how do you? So there's this paper by Edwin Locke on game theory, but goal theory. And goal theory says, if you want to increase your sales by 10%, you go like, okay, I just have to work a little harder. And you never get there. And 10% is it's margin of error. If I want to triple my revenue, I actually need to change what I'm doing. This actually requires attention and focus and dedication. So the big, hairy goal is one of those things. It's taking the 5 dysfunctions of a team and saying, small team is important because a committee of 9 people gets nothing done. Yeah. And the owner of the company and his or her right-hand person have too much to do. So 5 people is an ideal team. It's so all of these concepts from all of these great business books put together in a program that then the third sort of leg of the stool that just blew my mind was the 2Y, 3X consultant, myself. Yeah. We don't do any of the work. We don't even tell you what to do. We create a framework where you, having identified the big, hairy goal, determine what it takes to get there. And as a result, the team owns the plan. They create the plan. They own the plan. It is their plan. Yeah. It's not somebody saying, do this, do this, do this. And if it doesn't work, it's my fault. No. This is your plan. And we're going to help you execute it in a very formal way. So it is just so psychologically sound. And people get very excited and dedicated to making it work. And it's just, so it is practical, tactical, psychologically sound. And Felix has been doing it for about 5 years now and knows how to do it and has a track record that says, yes, he has helped companies double and triple in size. Fail story is we had one company that didn't make it to the end of the program because they did so well that they sold the company before they were finished.
Sounds like a good problem to have, right?
It's great. So I'm wildly enthused. And I talked to a
Mhm.
half a dozen of Felix's former clients,
Yeah.
and they all said, best thing since sliced bread.
What does the name 2Y3X mean?
2 years, 3 times growth.
Ah.
2 years, 3 times growth.
And so everybody, as you mentioned, everybody's plan then by the way you described it, it comes out different because it's their plan, it's what's going to work for them, it's what they're
Yeah.
bought into, but the objective is the 2 years, 3 times growth. Yeah.
Well, it depends on the business owner. So first of
Mm.
all, why does somebody want to grow? They
Yeah.
are looking to retire or to exit. They want to start something else.
Mhm.
Or a common one is that the business owner really loves doing the work
Yeah.
and finds themselves running the business. And that's not their
Mm.
joy. Their joy is doing the work.
Yeah.
And so they want to build a team around them to run the company so they can
Mhm.
go back to doing the work that they love. And somebody else can be chief operating officer and chief financial officer, and they don't have to
Yeah.
do the bills every day. Somebody else just wants to reward their team by handing
Mhm.
the company over and say, you guys run this, you're doing so well. Some people are ready to they've run the company for 20 years and it's only gotten
Yeah.
so far and no further. And they want to sell it, but the value, after 20 years of work, I'm only going to
Yeah.
earn $500,000. Like, come on, what do we do? Well, triple in size. And not only does it create more value just on paper, but
Mhm.
in going through this whole process, you will have created, well, it's business process reengineering. You've
Mhm.
recreated how you do business. You've created your succession team. You've created a
Yeah.
process of growth that is in place and running. So
Mhm.
the company is more valuable.
Yeah.
So it is, what is the goal of the owner
Mhm.
goes into our contract.
Mm.
This is the revenue or the growth or the profitability that you want to
Mhm.
achieve. And if we don't hit that goal,
Yeah.
then I only earn half of my pay.
Yeah.
I only get half my fee. So I'm really motivated to help you do everything I can to help you get that goal.
So in going through and I don't want to oversimplify this, right? Like every company is going to be different, every founder, every leadership team, I mean, infinite variables, right? But
Yep.
I know with yourself working with many companies over time, like certain themes can kind of tend to pop their head up or to appear. What are some of the things that you feel that you've seen over time that have maybe held some companies back? Just to get people that'll watch this, just to get them thinking along those lines of like where they could possibly maybe think about improving?
Well, boy, there's so many.
Yeah, and
Um,
I know there's a lot. I don't want it to sound loaded, but there's got to be like, because what I
yeah.
find happens sometimes is somebody will watch something like this and they'll say, well, that worked for them or that was
Hmm.
them, but not necessarily me. Like we all get this syndrome sometimes.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to flesh that out a little bit, like some of the things that you've seen, themes maybe that are kind of holding some of the business owners back that you've seen.
So the problem is very straightforward.
Yeah,
You start a company, you run it, you build it, and you start optimizing things.
yeah,
Optimize to the level that you're at. We're doing the best we can, amount of sales that we've got, the amount of clients we've got, the amount of work
yeah.
that we've got, but we're not getting any further. So
Mm,
the first thing that somebody does is, I just need that silver bullet. I need the viral social campaign. I
yeah,
need to hire a killer sales team. I
yeah,
need a finance program that will give me the line of credit. And it's like that one thing will carry me
yeah.
through. There is no silver bullet. There
Mm.
are 100 lead bullets. They're boring and they all have to be done correctly
Yeah.
for it all to work together. And that's just business. 1,000 things have to go right. So the problem is that the owner has been running the company and is
Mhm.
responsible for everything
Yeah.
and is not good at delegation.
Mhm.
And the lessons that need to be learned are, number one, prioritization and sequencing. That's
Yeah.
probably the biggest deal. So in 5 years, you want to
Mhm.
be 10 times your size. What needs to
Yeah.
be in place in year 4 and 3
Mhm.
and 2 and when you work backwards? So
Mm.
let's say you want to double your sales team. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Well, before you do that, you're going to need a recruiting process for bringing people on board. And oh, wait, if you're going to bring people on board, and then you're going to need a training program.
Yep.
And then you're going to need sales management before you can double in size.
Yeah.
So you know that these are individual tasks that have to be done, and they need to be in a specific sequence so that they make sense. So even though this is a 2-year plan, you break it up into bite-sized chunks.
Yeah.
And this is a sort of a central tenet to like Balanced Scorecard or the Capgemini strategy map that says, I'm going to take, I have 50 tasks and it's overwhelming. It's like, I can't do, I'm just going to go back to firefighting because I know, answering email. What did you do today? Oh, I answered email all day.
Yeah.
So we divide up into quarters. Remember, small team of 5 people.
Yeah.
And what are the first things you need to do to get started before you can carry on? It's like we want a full pipeline of leads for our salespeople. Yes, of course you do.
Yeah.
But for that, you need a marketing plan. And before that, you need a lead generation plan. And before that, you need to rebrand your website. Oh, wait, we need branding. And before that, you need proposition development. Like, what is your key offering that makes you unique and stand out, and Google will find you first? That's like a big task before you can do any of that stuff. So we're going to knock it all the way back to this is the first thing. These are the first 5 things that need to get done.
Yeah.
And in the first quarter, with a team of 5 people, each one takes one task, and they are solely responsible.
Yeah.
They have autonomy. And this is one of these lessons that we have to get the business owner to understand. They are on the team, but they don't run the team. I am the team chair. They have a task. The other 4 people have their own task, and they have complete authority to, and this is another one of those, okay, but how does it work? And then the light bulb goes on. The first quarter is 3 months. You take the first month and you do research. The second month, prototype. The third month, rollout.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to do a sales recruiting program. Spend a couple of hours a week and Google and read books and ask people for best practices. And then next month, put together a program that takes all of that input and makes sense for your company at your size with your culture in your industry, and put together a plan and try it out until you've worked out the bugs. And then month 3, it's formal. This is how we do business from now on.
Yeah.
First quarter, 5 people have re-engineered 5 tasks.
Yep.
In the first year, you've re-engineered 20 tasks.
Oh, it's amazing.
And now you've learned how to do it, right?
Yeah.
We have showed you how to think cognitively, think critically, do your research. And then the other psychological part of it that's just so much fun is that this team, they are mutually respective. They are there to help each other. They are, this team is job one instead of, well, I'm going to go back to my department and try to get more budget for my people. No, we're trying to build the company. So we're all going to help each other. And every month when we come back for the next workshop day, we're going to present what we've done. And somebody goes, well, I did this and this and this. Like, oh, that's pretty good. So well, I did this and this. Oh, the next guy, oh, well, I did this and this. So next month, and everybody gets better because they're responsible to each other.
Yeah.
It's like there's all these little bits and pieces that make so much sense when you bring it all together.
And what I like about this though is also it's formulaic. Like, I mean, the plan's not, so it's not a one size fits all plan. Right. Everybody's going to be different. So I like how you elaborate on that. Like, it's customized. You're going to make a training, in your example, you're going to make a training program that fits for your culture, your company, like what fits your size, your needs. And then you're also doing it with your team. So you have that buy-in component, but in the same sense, it is a formula. So that's how you know, like all these little tasks, you're moving forward, the culture is moving forward, and everything's going forward to your objective. That, I mean, in a perfect world, I mean, if you're doing all these things accurately, then you should possibly already be seeing results, which I think kind of feeds into motivating the team even more, right?
Spot on.
Mhm.
Exactly right. The
Like, this
first
stuff works. Like, let's do it. What's the next
Totally.
task?
The first quarter is like, how do we do this? How does this work?
Yeah.
And like, oh, we see results. Okay. And the
Mhm.
second quarter is, well, this could be good. Let's do some more. Oh, well, now we find other problems. Like we've identified tasks for people to do, but
Yeah.
sometimes the scoping of the task isn't right. Like this is going to take more than 3 months. Well, great.
Yeah.
Divide it up into smaller tasks.
Mhm.
That's fine. That's the learning. And about 6 months in, the light bulbs go on.
Yeah. I can see it. I can see it as you're saying it. I'm putting myself through the pace and the things, and I can see it. I'm just sitting here like visualizing it, and I can see it. And I know, and it seems to me like, so I know the topic of this is specifically, you've worked with a lot of service industries. So it seems like regardless of the niche within these different industries, though, it's the same thing, right? It's the same
It
formula
is.
because it's their plan. So it's
And the
whatever
reason
the
that
the
I
product is
say
kind of agnostic. Or am I off on that?
no, you're exactly right. The reason that I narrow it to service industries is
Yeah.
the experience of our team.
Mm.
We have somebody who is brilliant at manufacturing, working out of Europe, so he's good for that. But manufacturing, supply chain stuff, warehousing, that's all unique skill set.
Yeah.
We have skills in service. So
Mm.
Felix's background is advertising. We've got another, George's background is hospitality. My
Mhm.
background is online marketing. And when we're talking to agencies or
Mhm.
service organizations, we know how to do things like
Yeah.
evaluating the time versus billing on services offered. So,
Yeah.
somebody writing a blog post or creating an ad campaign,
Mhm.
we know how to put together the scorecard that says,
Mhm.
are they being productive and are we billing properly for their time? So you know
Mm.
what your profitability is.
Yeah.
And so service organizations, yeah, that we can do that in a heartbeat. But we've also applied this to executive teams who are rolling out a new company. We've
Mm.
applied it to projects that are not companies, but they are nonprofit
Mhm.
projects where a team gets together. It's like we just want to meet for 3 months to put together our strategy map. It's like great,
Yeah.
do that for you.
And so what other type of, I'm just curious, what other type of projects or programs or things do you also offer at 2Y3X?
So the main program is 2 years, right? It
Yeah.
is once a month for 2 years, and with a nice bonus on the end if we hit the goal. But
Yeah.
also, we found two things. One is a startup kickstart that is
Mm.
short term for entrepreneurs who have a great idea or a great product in mind, and they don't know how
Mhm.
to get their business act together.
Yeah.
So we help them with that. The other one that's really popular is the
Mhm.
proposition workshop. It's a
Mm.
2 day long workshop where some of the worst people at proposition are advertising agencies.
And you mean value proposition, right?
I need value proposition. Like,
Yeah,
what
God,
do
I just
you
I just wanted to
sell?
elaborate on that for a moment, because
Yeah.
your answer right there doesn't surprise me, but I wanna make sure everybody caught that. Go ahead.
So the value proposition of Coca-Cola
Yeah.
is refreshment and fun and taste. And like, we get that. Okay.
Mm.
The value proposition of a Tesla is you don't have to buy gas and you're
Mhm.
the coolest car on the block. And the
Yeah.
value proposition of blah, blah, blah. So,
Mhm.
what is it that you do that's so unique that everybody goes, oh, yeah, I need that? The
Yeah.
worst people at it are advertising agencies. It's like, we help your marketing. Yes, that's what everybody else says.
Yeah.
But if you get very specific, we help entrepreneurs become unicorns. Oh, wait,
Mhm.
I want that.
Yeah.
That's me. That's for me. It's that identification of what you're offering. So
Mm.
it takes 2 full days to get the whole team together to
Yeah.
talk about what is your product, but what are
Mhm.
your corporate values? What do
Yeah.
you think your customers really want? and
Mhm.
what kind of language will resonate in the marketplace and with Google
Hmm.
so that you are visible and can be found by the people that you are selling to. So that's a unique product offering.
What kind of response have you gotten from that? I mean, I'm just interested because some of these other ones, the startup one, this one, like it's highly needed. I'm just curious, like, what has been the end result of some of these?
The end result, I mean, on the 2y3x.com website
Yeah.
is, when you go to the under services, the proposition
Mhm.
workshop, you see some of the examples of what people have come up with, and you go, yeah, these are all ad agencies, but they're all saying something different. They're all
Yeah.
offering a different thing.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so taking it just, I guess, a step further. So, business owners that are watching this and they're kind of evaluating, they're thinking about, what's next for them. They obviously want to double, triple in size. Like who doesn't, depending on where they're at. But like, what should they be thinking about when they're really kind of doing evaluation and thinking, should I go down this 2Y3X route? Like, how does somebody know if they're a good fit?
If they have the common problems.
Mm,
So 2y3x, what is our value proposition? Who is it for?
yeah.
It's for a business owner or company, the
Mhm.
management of a company that has hit a plateau.
Yeah.
And there are several plateaus that people hit. You work for yourself, you've only got so many hours. You put
Yeah.
together a team of 10 or 12 people,
Mhm.
and it's brilliant because you know what everybody's doing, you can read everybody's minds,
Yeah.
you're on Slack constantly, you're in total communication,
Yeah.
and then you kind of get stuck. And
Mhm.
when you double, you get to 24 people. Oh, well,
Mhm.
now you've got teams that are working in real great harmony, but then you're stuck. And then you get to 48 people, and oh, now you need middle management. And that's a whole different set of problems.
Yeah.
So, have you hit a plateau? Has your growth stopped? You're doing fine.
Mhm.
Your customers are happy, but you're not getting anywhere. So
Yeah.
that's part one. Part two is do you really want to do a breakout? If you just want to
Mm.
grow 10 or 15%, that's fine. Read a book or two, you'll get there.
Yeah.
That organic growth, that's fine. But huge goals are really crucial
Mhm.
here. I talked to a $2 million company that wants to be a $5 million company.
Yeah.
And we say, yeah, we can absolutely help you get there. Well,
Mhm.
wait a minute. What if I said I wanted to be a $20 million company? It's like, yeah, we can help you, but that's a different set of skills.
Yeah.
Instead of growing organically, you're going to do deep dive into mergers and acquisitions because you can't just
Yeah.
grow that fast on your own. You have to go buy other companies and then you can hit that goal. Well, what if I wanted to be 500 million? It's like, we don't make pornography websites. Go talk to somebody else. No. So if the if the owner of the company is ready to
Mhm.
relinquish control, and this is a
Yeah.
big problem. It's teaching
Mm.
people how to delegate, and
Yeah.
you're ready to take a team of your A players, your
Mhm.
superstars, and give them positions of authority and control.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can absolutely help you. Then it's time. What do you do then? You could read the book Scale at Speed by Felix
Yeah.
Velarde, available at fine bookstores now. You can go to the 2y3x.com website.
Mhm.
You can we actually also have a self-assessment that you can
Yeah.
take. Asks you 20 questions. It'll take
Mhm.
like 2.5 minutes. How
Yeah.
do you feel? One of my favorite questions is, would you buy your company right now?
Mm.
And it's like, no, because
That's a tough one.
I got all these problems that I'm aware
Yeah.
of. It's like, okay, well, let's break that out. How does your
Mhm.
team feel? How is morale? How do your
Mhm.
customers feel? How is customer satisfaction? What do your
Yeah.
finances look like? What is your growth speed? Are you comfortable with your
Mhm.
knowledge, your with your employees' knowledge of your mission? Do you think your employees could describe the company well? Right.
Mhm.
And these are yes, no, easy questions. And at
Yeah.
the end, you get this scorecard that says, well, you're doing great here and ooh, not so well over here.
Mm.
And that's a great way to just get a feel for how am I doing and maybe can this group help
Mhm.
me?
What's one of the things that you like most about, being a 2Y3X consultant, really just helping these business owners? Like, what's one of the things that you like most about this process?
it is so not just so rewarding because these
Yeah.
people's eyes light up, but I'm learning so much. So
Oh, I
I'll give you
bet.
an example. One of my clients,
Mhm.
one of the tasks that they came up with was creating a risk register,
A
which
what? A risk register?
I had never heard of a risk register before.
Okay.
And then they said, yeah, this is something that we need. It
Yeah.
is a list of all the things that can go wrong.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
all of the dangers and the threats.
Mhm.
So, for instance, if there is a fire alarm,
Yeah.
what do you do? Well, you tweet about it. No, run for the exit. But here is a list of things to do and people to call. What if we
Ah,
get sued by a client? Oh,
mm,
well, here is the name and phone number for our attorney.
yeah.
Well, what if we get hit by a plague? It's like, what do we
Wow.
do? Well, we work from home.
Yeah.
So I said, well, that's a great task. And it took
Mhm.
3 months. And they
Yeah.
came up with this chart of, on the other hand, oh my God, there's so many things that can go wrong. But now here's what you do and who you call. And here are the
Wow.
people who are responsible for updating this as new employees come in, or we hire new vendors, or et
Yeah.
cetera, et cetera. And the woman who worked on it, who was the company owner's
Mhm.
wife, said it was torturous putting this together because it's one terrible thing after the next.
Yes.
Now that it's all on paper, I don't have to worry about it because there's a place
Wow.
I can point to where people know what to do in an emergency.
Yeah.
And it was, and then they added more columns to this thing in this spreadsheet of what's the likelihood of this to happen and how much
Yeah.
investment should we make this quarter in making sure that it doesn't happen. It's like,
Yeah.
I just blew my mind.
Wow. What a great story. Yeah, what I mean, what a great story, and I could see how that, like, when you said don't have to worry about it, like, that allows brain space and mental capacity to work on other things, right? Like, it's done now. Now that person can move on to what the next challenge is.
This is the inside secret to the whole 3-year strategy map
Hmm.
that says here are the 100 things that you need to do.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's too many things. Guess what? This quarter, you're only going to work on 5 of them.
Yeah.
And as an individual, you're only responsible for one. And
Yeah.
all those others, it's too soon. Don't worry about those. It's too
Mhm.
early. You need to do these before you do those.
Oh man, it's genius. I love it. Well, I just have to say, I mean, obviously a lot going on your end. 2Y3X is growing. What's next? I mean, what's next for you? What's next for the company? What's next for the programs?
What's next for me is rolling out the marketing for the
Mm,
United States to let people know,
yeah.
finding more consultants to help out, that
Mhm.
are willing to spend a full day a month with a client and a couple of days to prepare for that day.
Mhm.
Um, and for 2Y3X, we are entering into the next phase, which is working on company roll ups. We're
Yeah.
helping companies with mergers and acquisitions. We're taking companies, giving them significant growth and
Mhm.
making them available for purchase
Yeah.
or putting them in a position to buy other companies. And we're helping with the M&A.
Oh, that's exciting. And in terms, just taking it, I guess, a level deeper, like what type of consultants are you looking for?
We're looking for people with enough years
Yeah.
who have been there, done that, because it's
Mm,
it's not formulaic. I mean, read the book and you could follow
yeah.
page by page. It's about being
Mhm.
the mentor and the coach rather than the teacher.
Hmm.
Rather than, oh, in this situation, this is what you do.
Yeah.
It's, in that situation, I had one client do this and I did that, and this other, and if you read this book, it'll tell you to do that. What do you
Mhm.
think will work best for you? And
Yeah.
you get them to create the answer.
And then on the M&A side, or helping helping the companies grow and then making them potential, in a position to either purchase or if they want to, let their company be acquired. I mean, what types of companies or niches or industries are you kind of looking at for that?
Well, this is why I have labeled this service organizations.
Yeah.
That's our sweet spot.
Yeah.
And if you happen to be an advertising agency,
Hmm.
that's where Felix has all of his experience, and it's just it's a shoe in. But
Yeah.
for me, the companies that I've worked with are website developers,
Hmm.
analytics service organizations,
Yeah.
software companies. Yeah.
It's fantastic. Well, Jim, if somebody, I know you left it once, but I want you to leave it again. If somebody wants to connect, they want to get the book, they want to, have a further discussion with you and your team. I mean, what's the best way for them to do that?
2y3x.com.
Perfect. And we'll put all of that in the show notes, of course, because we want people to click on it and just head right on over. And if this is your first time you're watching this, if this is your first time with Mission Matters, just to let you know, we're a platform that's all about bringing on mission-based entrepreneurs, executives, experts, and really figuring out why they do what they do. Like, how are they adding value to the marketplace and the world, and what gets them motivated? If that's the kind of content you like and you're into, definitely we invite you to hit that subscribe button, because we have many more mission-based individuals coming on, and we don't want you to miss a thing. And Jim, it has been a pleasure. I learned a lot from you today, and I hope my audience did as well. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. This has been great fun for me.